For today's vegetarian dinner, this is green pepper, and it's so delicious uncooked, and one last little tomato, and then these are green peas just warmed up, not cooked, thawed, and this is a new product by Morningstar Farms, vegetarian something or other. They call them a meal starter. And it's to give your, it's like a hamburger helper or a tuna helper or something like that. But it's vegetarian. Onion. This is the end of Dorothy's barley. I know it's good for you, and I love the idea of eating it. But I don't know, I have a little problem with the taste. And sweet potato. And the drink would be the thick shake. This is so thick that the straw stands up straight in it. And what is it? You know by now it's a half a cup of cashews, a half a cup of uncooked oatmeal, 4 bananas, and a half a large can of pineapple juice. That makes one great big batch. This is just, it gives you about 4 glasses. And orange slices, and probably a dash of orange marmalade. The sun is getting ready to leave us, and it never had a chance today. All this poison, this junk, this chemtrail. The customer went into the restaurant and said, "Is the chef in?" And the waitress says, "No, he went out to lunch." "Is the chef in?" "No, he went out to eat." I need thee every hour, most gracious Lord. No tender grace like thou can peace afford. I need thee every hour, every hour I need thee. Oh, bless me now, my Savior, I come to thee. I think that's worth learning. You like it?
I'll be back. Keep in touch.
Let me tell you a joke.
Go ahead.
The doctor said to the patient, I have bad news and very bad news. And the patient says, "What's the bad news?" And the doctor says, "You have 2 days to live." And the patient says, "Well, what's the very bad news?" And the doctor says, "I forgot to tell you yesterday."
Good. Can you use that on my buddy? He's always going to the doctor and complaining. I'm not going to throw that by him.
I think that's so cute when they sit like that. It's such a picture. Their ears and her fluffy mane. Oh, look straight ahead, please. And their hips and the tail going. What are you upset about? A star is a huge ball of hot gas held together by its own gravity and heated by nuclear energy. That's a good definition to remember. Now the question is, folks, what is gravity? I don't think you can improve much on that for bliss. I screened a chat with Glendora, 4,510, I guess, and 4,511, 4,512, 4,513. They are very, very good programs. I look forward to bringing them to you. I think you're going to enjoy them. And these are the highlights of the day. Every day we count blessings. And it takes so long because there's so many blessings. And over there, the Valiant copy machine is printing pages 45 and 46 of Glendora's excoriation of Kenneth W. Rudolph, McCabe, and Littman, and Angiolillo, and all those bad judges in the Supreme Court, the appellate term, 9th and 10th Judicial District. It is malodorous. It is abominable. It's disgusting, detestable, unpleasant. And what else can we call it? Revolting, how's that? And that's going to be read to you in its entirety. These judges have to know that we know, and they are not going to get away with it.
No. The policeman said, you related to the family next door? And the little boy says, yes, their dog is our dog's brother.
Take care. Have a good weekend, Glendora.
Thank you. Bye.
I should have taken a picture of it. The 1993 started up. It has gasoline in it. It isn't all leaks out. And it ran very smoothly. And all of the instrument panel was working.com. And so I brought it right down here to the door so as to unblock the 1980, which is next to it. Let me get up and show you. And then the 1980 had a terrible malaise yesterday. Can you believe it? That leaves were inside. You know how you take the breather off? Well, there were leaves inside. And one of them fell under the carburetor, under the choke. And the Lincoln wouldn't run. It couldn't run. It was suffocated. It was choking. So I brought it home and parked it and left that for another day. And then I took it out, and it doesn't choke anymore. It's got over its malaise all by itself. So the 1980 Lincoln is running perfectly. In 1993, we have an appointment with Pat Van Allen to put in a new gas line. And it's for Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. And it ran very nicely, the 1993, but the gas was leaking like crazy. So we put a pan under it. I don't know. Is that going to cost a lot of money, folks? Pat Van Allen's is around 150. Well, here's a nice thing that we did for the 1993. You know, he has a brand new battery. And so since he isn't going anywhere until Wednesday or Tuesday, I disconnected the negative terminal of the battery to save the battery. Tell me something. Do you have to disconnect the positive too? I don't have a wrench that fits the positive. All I have is this nice one that Dennis gave me. And it fits the negative. Eliminate the negative. That's it, folks. Pure thoughts. No negative, second level, trivial, ugly. Accentuate the positive. Eliminate the negative. It's 4:30 p.m. and I've fasted all day so far. I guess it's time to break the fast. This is a happy kitty cat. Yeah, very happy kitty cat. And where's the other one? We're doing the end of the year. I have the figures. How much money the business made. How much money Franklin made. how much the Social Security was, how much his Buffalo News pension, evening news pension was, and how much his Gannett pension was, and added it all up. So I know the total that came in last year, 2006. And what day is it? It's the 13th day of January, and it's a Saturday. And it was dreary. Uh-oh. You're not supposed to say bad things. Anyway, there was no sun all day. And it was a cozy day inside. I made it, folks. I think this is the third night in a row, or the fourth night in a row. I fasted until 5:45. And this is Saturday night. And down Maine, on Saturday night, you have baked beans and hot dogs and coleslaw. This is pineapple and cabbage. And no mayonnaise, that's no good for you. These are vegetarian hot dogs. They're not the best. This is Worthington Foods veggie dogs, and they're not the best. Veggie Links are better. They come in a can. But the best ones are something links, and I can't think of the name of them. They're Worthington Foods, and they're frozen, and they're long hot dogs. And I can't think of the name of them, but they are the best. Leanies. That's what they are, leanies. Frozen leanies are the best. And this is the drink. This is the shake, the Great Shake, which is a half a cup of cashews, a half a cup of uncooked oatmeal, a can of pineapple juice, large can of pineapple juice, and about 4 to 6 bananas. That makes about 4 servings. And here is the pineapple again, and the cabbage, and here's the baked beans. These are Bush's baked beans, vegetarian beans, and they're good. I can recommend those. I think down Maine that we used to parboil the beans Friday night, and then Saturday cook them all day until supper time. And you put molasses in them, and salt, and what else? Gee, I can't think of anything else. And what kind of beans were they? They were northern Maine. What were they called? Northern Yellow Eyes. Now .com, be nice. Be nice.com. Be nice.com. Just be nice. Just be nice. Just be nice. I'll let you know, folks, when I get all these details done that are on the post-its. Yeah, we know it's yourhouse.com, but you have a guest, and you have to treat her like a guest. Treat her like a guest. She just wants to play and love you. Okay, .com, you won your point. She backed off. .com really would love to play with her. Or him. I don't know which it is. .com, that's kind of aggressive. Now I gotta stop that. No .com, that's kind of aggressive. Yeah, that's kind of aggressive, honey. We don't want to be aggressive. No, we don't want to be aggressive. No. She really just needs to play, Sebastian. That's all she wants to do. So go play with somebody else.com. Your tail tells me it's aggressive, see? Yeah, your tail tells me that. This is Sunday, folks. It's 11 o'clock, and it's cloudy. Now, clouds, you go away. You go away for 3 days. We want sunshine on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We want 3 days of bright sunshine. Go away, clouds. I'm going to give this to Bonnie Sutherland for Stefan to make things with. She says he's a good cook. Because I am all through, I hope, eating bread. I used to make these biscuits and they were so good. But I'm all through eating bread. I hope. Candy, desserts, and margarine. And Dennis says that margarine is one molecule away from plastic. We had nice company for 3/4 of an hour. Mr. and Mrs. Art Rice came to visit us. They took Ruth Miller home from church. They're from the Calvary Assembly of God Church. So that was very pleasant. They're going to drive us to White Plains on the 24th of January when we put Cablevision's lawyer on trial and Cecilia Masterilli. We're sort of doing yeoman work here. This is the last pages 35 to 56 being collated. Excoriating Kenneth Rudolph, McCabe, Angelillo, Littman, and Tannenbaum, Supreme Court, State of New York. 9th and 10th Judicial District, the appellate term. And the joke of the day is that the mother says, "Hurry up, your piano teacher's coming in 15 minutes. Did you wash your hands and face?" "Yes, yes." "Or did you wash your ears?" "Yes, I washed the one next to her." And this is such a nice hymn. See if I can sing it for you. Rejoice, ye pure in heart, rejoice, give thanks and sing. Your festal banner raised on high, the cross of Christ your King. Rejoice, 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 give thanks and sing. And as I'm collating here, I'm trying to tell myself, don't think of anything bad. Don't think of anything bad. There's too much good to think about. And rejoice, give thanks and sing. This is from a chat with Glendora. Lead people to be perfect. Stop the injustice in the courts. To sue judges when they break the law. And that's what we're doing here with Kenneth W. Rudolph, who is a total failure. He's in the so-called Supreme Court, State of New York, and he's also in the appellate term. This is the case Glendora versus Eacock, where Eacock said she would renew as Glendora's signer in Peekskill. She went back on her word. She has children. It's a fine thing to teach children that. And I sued Eacock in Phillipstown Court, and Stephen G. Taman is another total failure. And then I went to the appellate term, and Rudolph failed, as did Angelillo, as did McCabe, who is also on the appellate term. I think he's from Nassau County, as did Tannenbaum. Let me find you Tannenbaum. As did Jonathan Littman, who is on the appellate term, a new appointee. And they all failed, and I will read you the paper telling you about it. It's 54 pages. I have to get dressed up because I don't want to go on TV in front of you without showing you the greatest respect. This is the culprit who caused all the problem, along with Cecilia Masterilli and Christine Savarino, Deborah Eacock, who thinks it's just fine to give your word and go back on it. She was never taught correctly by her parents or by her grandparents. This is to the liar for hire, Walter A. Sawrock, Sadlerly Stevens, Burke & Burke, a liar for hire, law firm, 230 Park Avenue, the Pan Am Building. And this one is going to the clerk of the court. You will prevail. Hear me. You will prevail. This is January 11, 2007, Anno Domini. Today is the 14th. It's to the appellate term, the 9th and 10th Judicial Districts, Supreme Court, State of New York, United States of America, Internet. And this is still on appeal from the Phillipstown Town Court, Putnam County. Stephen G. Tomans. Glendora, plaintiff appellant, versus Deborah E. Koch, defendant appellee. Number 2005-1150, Putnam County. Glendora, notice of motion. Motion and affidavit in support for relief an affidavit in support for relief. Glendora, notice of motion, and affidavit in support for relief from the nullity papers of December the 27th, pursuant to New York analog to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 60B. Relief. The movement is Glendora. The return date is February the 22nd, 2007, George Washington birthday. Any reply papers must be postmarked no later than February the 8th, 2007. The location is the appellate term, 141 Livingston Street, 15th floor, Brooklyn, New York. 347-401-9580. The relief requested is stated in the title, and grounds are the 4 pages of December the 27th are a nullity. There's no signature by the judges. The case was not determined nor pronounced judicially. The papers are all dictum and state no law. It is consumer fraud, and there's no statute of limitations on fraud. And the first bad actor was Deborah E. Koch. The second was Robert Callaghy, now dead. Then came Stephen Taman, and then came Kenneth W. Rudolph, McCabe, and Littman. Worst of them all, and 2 ghostwriters, lawless clerks. Those are the bad actors. These are the people who should be in jail. Supporting papers are Glendora's record on appeal, her appellant's brief and reply brief, and affidavit in support, affixed here too. These 60 pages were served on Walls of Saw Rock at Sadly, Stevie, Burke and Burke, Liar for Hire, 230 Park Avenue, the Pan Am Building, Manhattan, his designated address. The service was by United States Mail on January whatever, when Brad Sachs serves it. 2007, by Brad Sachs. See his affidavit. And this is dated January blank 2007, the state of New York. Yours in truth, Amor Patriae, love of one's country, and Amor New Yorki, love of the state of New York. And is signed Glendora, without prejudice, according to the Uniform Commercial Code, Article 1, Section 207. Lead people to be perfect, stop the injustice in the courts, stop the cruelty to animals, and sue judges when they break the law. And it's also on www.youtube.com. facebook.com/@chatwithglendora, one word. It is also not only fraud upon me, but it's fraud upon the court. It's fraud upon the United States of America and upon the state of New York. Alpha. Here are the bad actors. Three failures plus 2 law clerks. Really lawless clerks. And here's the case, and they're deficient. They should say plaintiff appellant, and they should say defendant appellee. And they said it was decided on December the 27th. Well, that is a lie. It was decided the instant I filed it. That's the way with these crooks in the appellate term. Supreme Court, State of New York. The case is already decided the minute they see it come in. Complete and total and odious denial of due process. Beta. The law clerk writes, the ghostwriter writes, appeal from an order of the Justice Court. There's no justice in the court in Phillipstown. Putnam County, Stephen G. Tomans, dated June the 9th, 2005. I only started this case in 2004. It's only taken 2 years to get to this junk. Glendora says, this is an incomplete sentence. An incomplete sentence or a run-on sentence is an automatic E for you. You flunk. Judges should know about sentences. But you totally flunked 7th grade composition. Try again. You have no verb. Quote, this appeal is from an order, is how they should have said it. I'm telling you that their English composition is as bad as their legal composition. It's as abominable as your legal composition. Indeed, your legal construction swings minus down the scale to destruction. It is destruction of Americanism, what we believe in, our traditions, our interests, and our ideals. And you are the antithesis. Gamma. Ecock was saying it is all right to give you a word and go back on it. And she teaches her children that too. And Stephen G. Taman aided, advocated, assisted, backed, countenanced, and connived. And Glendora stands up for right in a fallen world. I will. Delta. Next line is order affirmed with $10 cost. They just had bad parents and bad grandparents who never taught them right from wrong. What am I talking about? These judges. They had no good parents. Glendora says, show the receipt and itemize. This is another incomplete sentence. You egged on, you encouraged, you fomented, you helped, you instigated, and you incited. And you do so with your illiterate, incomplete sentences. This 7th grade English composition is commensurate with your ignorance of the law and your statute and the constitutions. You do not know contract law. Try New York jurisprudence. In New York State, an oral contract is just as valid as a written contract. Epsilon. An offer was made. The offer was accepted. There was a meeting of the minds, and Ecock breached. And you are too crooked to see that. I am talking to you, Lippman, Rudolph, and McKay. You were too crooked to see that. Or maybe you did see it, but you listened to Mephisto. We're on page 5. Well, you see it, but you are too self-interested to do your duty, your public trust, and oath that you should have taken on it. What is the amount of your judicial bond? Whoever insures these judges has a bad risk on his hands. Or don't you even have a judicial bond, which is required? Have you also cheated on this mandate? Another public trust? Zeta writes the ghostwriter, the lawless clerk. Substantial justice was done between the parties. That is an out-and-out lie. If substantial justice was done, then where is my $3,000 I sued for breach of contract? Substantial justice was done between the parties in the present small claims action for breach of contract, and that's the Uniform Justice Court Act, Section 1801, ex sequitur. How can you write, Glendora says, such a demented statement? It is total, unresisting self-surrender to vice. It was written by a depressed and a depraved law clerk, quote, unquote, law. However, you did not cite it. Ergo, it is a judicial nullity because you did not sign it. Not even one of you out of the 3 signed, and the 4 pages are null and void. There is no signature. Without abrogating, the 4 pages are in their entirety a nullity. A paper is not an order, judges, until it's signed by the judges. And in this case, 3 judges. All 4 of your pages are a nullity. They are not signed. To whom am I speaking? You, Rudolph, you, Littman, and you, McCabe. The case has not been determined judicially. The case has not been adjudicated. The case has not been heard or tried or settled by judicial decree. There are no signatures. The appeal has not been pronounced judicially. Lawless, quote, law, unquote, clerks are not suffragan judges. Clerks are not judges.